Here's the very latest on Wednesday's late bulletin from Pompey Sound. It's 50-50, the news about Yengi. One of this season's favourites may be staying and another is almost certain to be going.
Pompey Sound Update. The latest from Fratton Park. On the hour, every hour. Fuelled by Piglet's Pantry. Why not treat your mum this Mother's Day with a fabulous afternoon tea delivered straight to her door? Click pigletspantry.co.uk to order.
And use the code Pompey Sound when you order and you'll get a 15% discount. Here's some injury news that's not good but could have been worse.
Portsmouth FC have confirmed that striker Cassini Yengi has picked up a hamstring injury while on international duty with Australia, forcing an early return from the Socceroos World Cup qualifying campaign. The 26-year-old forward didn't feature in Australia's commanding 5-1 victory over Indonesia last Thursday, with the injury occurring during a training session the following day. While initial reports from the Australian camp suggested the issue was minor, it's still enough to keep Yengi out of action for the immediate future. Head coach John Messineo expects Yengi to be sidelined for approximately 10 days, meaning he'll miss this Saturday's championship clash with Blackburn Rovers at Fratton Park and likely the following weekend's away fixture at Millwall. Kaz is doing okay, Messineo is saying. It's just a very minor hamstring strain he picked up in training with Australia. He flew back immediately, and we're expecting him to be out for around 10 days. The setback is particularly frustrating as Yengi had only recently returned to first-team action, having started against Preston after recovering from a previous injury sustained during international duty in November. It's obviously disappointing, Messineo added. Cass had just gotten back to full fitness and earned his spot in the starting lineup. But if there's a silver lining, it's nowhere near as serious as his previous international injury. We're expecting him back training with the squad soon.
So we have to get past the annoying fact that this happened without him kicking a ball in anger in Australia, around on the other side of the world, where it turns out he did not need to be. Would he have got the injury if he'd been training with Pompey? We'll never know. We've got replacements or people who can play alongside Colby Bishop. Without Yengi, we've got Marco Mahoney, we've got Christian Sadie, we've got young Thomas Waddingham. So, we're not out of cards. However, it remains annoying that the man who is probably our number 2 striker, if he's on song, is going to miss at least 2 very important games. There's news about the future of yet another Pompey player who was a bargain and has flourished in leaps and bounds under John Messineo.
Football news agency The 72 is arguing that Andre Durzel's future at Pompey may depend on them staying up. They say this. Portsmouth picked up Andre Durzel on a free last summer after his Queen's Park Rangers stint ended, and he's proven to be a solid addition to the squad. While Pompey are currently sitting above the drop zone in 17th, the championship relegation battle is getting tighter by the week, with just 4 points keeping them clear of trouble heading into the final 8 games. John Messineo's team isn't just focused on staying up though, they've got one eye on next season too. Contract discussions will need sorting soon, and Durzel's situation is particularly interesting. The midfielder came in with something to prove after a rough patch, and he's definitely stepped up to the challenge. He's nailed down a regular spot in the team, working brilliantly alongside West Ham loanee Freddie Potts in the middle of the park. When asked about his future, Durzel's keeping it cool, saying he's more worried about performances than paperwork right now. His deal does have a 12-month extension clause, but word is it only kicks in if Portsmouth avoid relegation. Given how well he's played, you'd imagine Portsmouth will be keen to keep hold of him regardless of how the season plays out. He's become a key figure in the squad, and at 25, his best years are still ahead of him.
Yeah, I think if you were to say hands up those who want to keep Andre Durzel, then even those who sit at the back and are only pretending to be paying attention, they put their hands up too. I think it would be unanimous. He's come on in leaps and bounds since he joined Pompey. Clearly, you've been able to watch him grow with confidence and ability and performance and contribution in every game he's played. And he's playing plenty. He is now a nailed-on first-teamer. News of one Pompey player who almost certainly won't be wearing a blue shirt next season, sadly.
Neither West Ham nor Freddie Potts are being coy about his future. Hammers manager Graham Potter has made it clear to the press and public that he's building a young side with the future in mind. Additionally, he has a few days ago signed Potts on a juicy 4.5-year contract, so those smoke signals are not hard to interpret. Potts himself says nothing but wonderful things about Pompey, his playing partners, the club and coaching staff, and of course the fans. But he is also not backward in coming forward about the fact that his dream in football remains to put on a West Ham claret and blue shirt and line up for the kickoff in a Premier League fixture. He was and remains a lifelong West Ham fan, and an East End/Essex boy whose heart, soul and mind is steeped in that neck of the woods. Plus, if one's father has a lifelong association with your boyhood club, as Freddie does in his dad Steve, there is such a thing as an umbilical cord that can never be severed. Consequently, much as Pompey and the Pompey fan base would love to get another 12 months out of Freddie, it seems like a racing certainty that when the final whistle of this season goes, he'll be on the first train out of Fratton to Romford. So we can start bidding farewell and goodbye to Freddie Potts, with a thank you for his services, and not a few happy memories.